Next, we are going to study about examples of nucleophilic addition reactions. We already said that nucleophilic addition reactions are the characteristic of aldehydes and ketones, and aldehydes are more reactive than ketones towards this nucleophilic addition reactions, and we studied the reasons also. So, before you start studying the examples of nucleophilic addition reactions, revise these two concepts: how the addition, mechanism, order of reactivity and reasons. Okay. First example for nucleophilic addition reaction is addition of HCN. What is HCN? Hydrogen cyanide. So, addition of HCN means definitely here the reagent is HCN. Sometimes instead of HCN, it will be given as NaCN and HCl. It is same as HCN because we know that when NaCN reacts with HCl, NaCl and HCN will be formed. So, when the question comes, either it will be given as HCN itself or it will be given as NaCN and HCN. So, first we will see the mechanism of addition of HCN. So, this is the mechanism number 2 coming in this chapter. In the first step, HCN reacts with OH minus. OH minus represents presence of a base, and reversible arrow. What happens here is, we know that bases means they are ready to accept H plus ions. So, H plus ions, HCN on ionization we are getting H plus and Cn minus. That H plus will be taken away by this OH minus. So, what we will get is OH minus plus H plus, what we will get? H2O plus Cn minus. So, in HCN, which is the nucleophile present, it is Cn minus. So, in the first step, the release of nucleophile will be taking place, because we know that in nucleophilic addition reaction, the step 1 is attack of nucleophile in a perpendicular direction to the reactant. And the aldehyde or ketone, whatever it is, generally we can represent it as a carbonyl compound. Okay. Whenever we write a mechanism, write the polarization. How is the polarization of C double bond O? Delta plus and delta minus. Since oxygen is more electronegative, the pi bond will be shifting towards oxygen, so that C double bond O becomes C single bond O minus and carbon complete positive charge. Now, remember, as we studied in the mechanism, step 1 will be step 1 and step 2, both are reversible. So, don't forget to draw the reversible arrow. And what is the first step here? Attack of nucleophile, isn't it? So, here the nucleophile is Cn minus. Now, how the attack of this nucleophile? They will be attacking in the perpendicular direction, and all those things no need to represent here because this is not a mechanism like that. So, Cn minus, how it will be attacking? Perpendicular direction. If we want, we can draw on in perpendicular direction. It will be attacking on the positively charged carbonyl carbon, isn't it? Cn minus is negatively charged, so it will be attacking on positive center, that is carbonyl carbon. So, what is the change happening here? First, we are getting the tetrahedral intermediate, isn't it? So, here single bond, there is no change. Double bond O will become single bond O minus, and to this carbonyl carbon, Cn minus will be coming and attacking, and Cn minus forms a new bond with this carbon. So this is the tetrahedral intermediate. And intermediates are usually unstable. So in order to show the instability, we can represent this inside a square bracket also. Then no need to write as intermediate. From the square bracket it will be clear. Now second step, again reversible. And what is the second step in nucleophilic addition reaction? Addition of H plus. Now H plus will be added to where? Definitely being positive, it will be added to the negative center, that is oxygen. And what we are getting here is single bond O minus will become OH. This is the product we are getting. And these products are called as cyanohydrins. So what are cyanohydrins? Repeated board question. So how we can define cyanohydrins? From the name itself it is clear. Cyanohydrin. Cyano means cyano group, that is CN group. Hydrin represent hydroxy group. So cyanohydrins are compounds formed when aldehyde or ketone reacts with hydrogen cyanide or HCN, in which both cyano group and hydroxy group are present on same carbon. So what are cyanohydrins? Both cyano group and hydroxy group will be present on same carbon, and they are formed by the reaction between aldehyde or ketone with HCN or hydrogen cyanide. So this is the mechanism of addition of HCN to aldehyde or ketone. Now the next question is, here in this mechanism you can see in the first step HCN is treated with OH minus. Why we are not writing the simply ionization of HCN as H plus and Cn minus? The reason is, if we are taking or if we are carrying out this reaction with pure HCN, the reaction rate or the speed will be very less. The reaction will be very slow. So in order to catalyze the reaction, we are using OH minus, the base. So what happens if we use a base here? We know that bases are ready to accept H plus. So they will take H plus ions from HCN very fast, so that Cn minus, there is a nucleophile required for this reaction very fast. So reaction becomes very fast. We know that in nucleophilic addition reactions, step 1 is the slowest step and the rate determining step. That is addition of nucleophile. So if the addition of nucleophile becomes faster, reaction becomes faster. So once again, why the reaction is carried out in presence of a base? To release Cn minus or the nucleophile faster. Okay, so this is about the mechanism. Now we will see few examples of this reaction. First one, the question will be coming like this. CH3CHO plus HCN gives dash. Because this is a usual pattern coming for board exam, that is complete the following questions. So remember, whenever there is questions or whenever we study the reactions of aldehydes and ketones, always expand the C double bond O group. Okay, so how we can write this mechanism or equation as, how we can expand CH3CHO, CH3 C double bond O H plus HCN gives. Only when we write the mechanism, we need to write as step 1 and step 2. But when we do the complete the following questions, this we can do in single step. See how it is. How we can write the ionization of HCN as H plus Cn minus. Now, how is the polarization of C double bond O, carbon delta plus oxygen delta minus, and always remember the pi bond will be shifting towards oxygen. This arrow is compulsory. Okay. Now after the shifting we know that this carbon becomes complete positive and this oxygen becomes complete negative, and double bond O will become single bond O. So H plus will be attacking to or will be attached to H plus being positively charged will be attached to the negative center. Which is the negative center here? Oxygen. And Cn minus will be attached to the positive center, that is the carbonyl carbon. So how we can write the product as CH3 single bond. The C single bond H we can write it as CH itself, no? Yes. Now double bond O became single bond O, and to oxygen what is attached? Hydrogen. So O becomes OH. Now Cn minus is attached to carbon. So this is the product we are getting, and what is the name of this product? It is acetaldehyde, cyanohydrin. From the product name we can understand what are the things reacting here. Acetaldehyde cyanohydrin means the reactant species is acetaldehyde. And cyanohydrin means what? Once again, both hydroxy group or OH group and cyano group attached to same carbon atom. Okay. Now the next example is benzaldehyde plus HCN gives dash. Again another complete the following question. So as usual, whenever we write the reactions of aldehyde and ketone, don't forget to expand the C double bond O part. So how we can expand it as C double bond OH plus HCN. How we can write the polarization of C double bond O, oxygen more electronegative, delta minus, so carbon delta plus, double bond will be shifting always towards oxygen. HCN ionization, H plus and Cn minus. So H plus will be attached to the negative center, that is oxygen, and Cn minus will be attached to the positive center, that is the carbonyl carbon. Now see this molecule and write the product. Benzene ring, there is no change. Here the single bond also there is no change. The C single bond H we can write it as CH, isn't it? Now C double bond O will become, after shifting double bond O will become single bond O. Now hydrogen is or H plus is attached to oxygen, so O will become OH. Now to this carbon Cn minus is attached. Product is ready. So this is benzaldehyde cyanohydrin. Okay, now there is one question in the back exercise. The question is, NaCN plus HCN. So here there is two twists. First one is above the arrow, what is the reagent given? It is not HCN. Instead of HCN, what is given? NaCN and HCl. But we know that when these two react, HCN will be formed. Okay. Now, in order to confuse you, here one aldehyde group and carboxylic acid, both functional groups, two functional groups are given and both are carbonyl compounds. So only to confuse you, but remember nucleophilic addition reactions are the characteristic of aldehydes and ketones only. So here there is no change or no reaction with this carboxylic acid group. There is a reaction only with CHO group. Okay, so how we can write this equation as So don't change the carboxylic acid group. No need to expand also, because in that group there is no reaction. C double bond OH, delta minus delta plus, shifting towards oxygen, plus instead of this NaCN and HCl we can write HCN itself now. HCN ionization is H plus Cn minus, and H plus will be attached to the negative center, that is oxygen, and Cn minus will be attached to carbonyl carbon, that is the positive center, and we will be getting benzaldehyde ring, no change. Acid group also there is no change. Here it will become CH. Double bond O will become single bond OH, and to this CH carbon Cn will be attached. So these are the few examples of the addition of HCN. Now the second nucleophilic addition reaction is addition of sodium bisulfite. What is the formula of sodium bisulfite? NaHSO3. Remember, it is sodium bisulfite, SO3. Okay, how we can write this mechanism as? This is not a big mechanism, only small mechanism here. How we can write the aldehyde and ketone generally? C double bond O plus NaHSO3. How is the ionization of NaHSO3? Na plus and HSO3 minus. Remember, ionization is as Na plus and HSO3 minus. So tell me, how is the polarization in? C double bond O, oxygen delta minus, carbon delta plus, and the shifting will be always towards oxygen. So Na plus will be attached to the negative center, that is oxygen, and HSO3 minus, that is the negative center, will be attached to the positive carbonyl carbon. So how we can write the first product as? Here there is no change. Double bond O will become single bond O, Na, isn't it? Now to this carbonyl carbon, what will be attaching? HSO3. But how the bonding in HSO3 is? Not through hydrogen atom, it is SO3H. In some textbooks you can see it as OSO2H. Both are correct. Okay. Now in the last step there is usually in nucleophilic addition reactions, the second step will be the addition of proton or H plus from the medium. But here there is no abstraction of proton. Here is actually only a small proton transfer. Okay. So how we can draw the proton transfer is? Here this H plus from SO3 group will be shifted to oxygen. At the same time, Na plus from here will be coming to here. So how it will be? No change. Na will become OH and SO3H will become SO3Na. So remember, in the case of the addition of sodium bisulfite, the second step is only proton transfer. Okay, and remember, here the product that we are getting after the addition of sodium bisulfite will be crystalline in nature or solid form. It will be in the solid form or in the crystalline form. So this is the crystalline sodium bisulfite addition product. So after the addition of sodium bisulfite to an aldehyde or ketone, we are getting the solid sodium bisulfite derivative. Now we know that when we compare the reactivity of aldehyde and ketone, towards nucleophilic addition reactions, aldehydes are more reactive than ketones, isn't it? So here also, in the case of the formation of crystalline sodium bisulfite addition product, usually aldehydes are giving the bisulfite addition product more easily than ketone. Therefore, this reaction is used for the purification and separation of aldehydes. What do you mean by the purification and separation of aldehydes? Why we are using for the purification of aldehydes only? Because we know that if ketones are undergoing this reaction, the rate will be less, and we know the reason due to steric reason and electronic reason. Now, what do you mean by purification and separation of aldehydes? For example, if an aldehyde, for example acetaldehyde, if it is mixed with acetic acid, accidentally these two compounds got mixed each other. So how we can separate these two compounds? To this mixture, you add some sodium bisulfite. What happens? Only aldehyde from this mixture will react with sodium bisulfite and we will get the solid derivative. So when you add sodium bisulfite to a mixture of acid and aldehyde, only aldehyde will react with sodium bisulfite and it will be separating as a solid compound. If it is separating as a solid compound, how we can separate it? By simple filtration. And if we want to get the original aldehyde back, very simple, to that solid derivative, you add some acid or base. You will be getting the aldehyde back. So remember, note down the question. The sodium bisulfite addition method is used for the separation and purification of aldehydes. Why? Okay. Now, the third example for nucleophilic addition reaction is addition of alcohols. Addition of alcohols to aldehydes and ketones. Here, first we will see the addition of alcohols to aldehydes. Addition of alcohols to aldehyde. We can see the general reaction first. How we can represent an aldehyde generally? R C double bond O H, isn't it? On reaction with alcohol. How we can represent an alcohol? Generally, to distinguish between this alkyl group and this alkyl group, here I am giving R dash OH. So, aldehyde is reacting with one molecule of alcohol, and here remember, here also the reaction is reversible, and this reaction is always taking place in presence of dry HCl. What do you mean by dry HCl? Hydrogen chloride gas. Now, the reaction happening is, we know the polarization of C double bond O, delta plus, delta minus. Double bond will be shifting always towards oxygen. And tell me, how is the polarization of an alcohol? You have already studied in the previous chapter. Alcohols and phenols are acidic in nature. So, how it will be ionizing as RO minus and H plus. Okay, ionized as RO minus and H plus. So, now tell me, H plus will be moving towards the positives. H plus will be moving towards the negative center, that is oxygen, and RO minus will be moving towards the carbonyl carbon. Clear? So, how we can write the first product as, look at here and write R. C single bond H can be written as CH. double bond O will become single bond O. H plus is attached to oxygen, so it becomes OH. Now, OR group is attached to carbonyl. This is the first intermediate we are getting. This is what we call as hemiacetal. So, the next definition is, what are hemiacetals? It is clear from the structure. We know that OR group is known as alkoxy group. OH group is known as alcohols. So, they are, hemiacetals are alkoxy alcohols. Clear? They are alkoxy alcohols formed when an aldehyde reacts with one molecule of alcohol in presence of hydrogen chloride gas. Clear? In the second step, this hemiacetal will react with one more molecule of alcohol. Okay? In presence of acid, that is H plus or HCl. Here what happens is, there is elimination of water. How is the elimination of water? As HOH, isn't it? So, OH will be taken from here and hydrogen from here. Okay, water will be eliminated. So, we can write it as minus H2O, and tell me the product you are getting. R, CH, OR is already present there. Now, after removing water, here what we have? OR group, isn't it? So, that will be attached here. This is the final product we are getting, and this is called acetals. Acetal, from the word itself it is clear. How we can define acetal? The next question is, define acetal. They are, we know that OR group is called as alkoxy group. So, how many alkoxy groups are present here? 2. Now, if two similar groups are attached on same carbon, it will be called as geminal, isn't it? So, the another name for acetal is geminal. How to write geminal? G-E-M hyphen, use small letter only. Geminal dialkoxy compound. Another name is acetals. So, how we can define acetal here? They are geminal dialkoxy compounds formed by the reaction of an aldehyde with how many molecules of alcohols? 2. If it is reacting with only one molecule of alcohol, we are getting hemiacetal. And if it is reacting with 2 molecules of alcohols, we are getting geminal dialkoxy compounds called acetal. And what are hemiacetal? They are alkoxy alcohols. What are acetals? They are dialkoxy or geminal dialkoxy compounds. Okay. Examples of this reaction. The question is to draw the structure of acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. Okay, the question is to draw the structure of acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. Now, if the alcohol reacting is methanol, it will be called as dimethyl acetal. Okay, so depending on the alkyl group or present in the alcohol, we are naming acetals and hemiacetal. So, here the question is, draw the structure of acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. So, acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. Question is to draw the structure. So, how we can draw the structure? Because how it is formed? They are acetals, isn't it? So, acetal means an aldehyde is reacting with alcohol. How many alcohols? 2 alcohols. Which is the aldehyde reacting? It is clear from here. Acetaldehyde is reacting. It has to react with 2 molecules of alcohols. And here which is the alcohol taking? This dimethyl means methanol is reacting. 2-methanol is reacting with acetaldehyde. So how we can write the structure as CH3CHO. CHO, how we can expand? C double bond OH. How is the polarization? Delta minus, delta plus will be shifting towards oxygen. Will be reacting with first molecule of methanol, CH3OH. Ionization of methanol is RO, CH3O minus and H plus. H plus will be moving towards oxygen and OCH3 group will be moving towards carbon. So what we are getting here is, start from here, CH3, C single bond H can be written as CH, double bond O will become single bond OH, and to this carbon what is coming and attaching? OCH3 group. This is actually our hemiacetal, isn't it? Which hemiacetal? Methyl hemiacetal, because here the alkyl group is methyl group. So methyl hemiacetal. But the question is to draw the structure of acetal. So it has to react with one more molecule of methanol. Again the polarization O minus H plus. And here what is happening? Elimination of water. So OH will be taken from here and H plus from here. And what we are getting finally is minus H2O. What we will get? CH3, CH. Already there is one OCH3. After eliminating OH and H, what we have here is OCH3. So this is the structure of dimethyl acetal of acetaldehyde. Dimethyl acetal, because here the alkyl group OR group is OCH3. So the R group is CH3. So the name is dimethyl acetal. Okay. Hope the reaction is clear to you. So this is about the reaction of an aldehyde with alcohol. So remember, when an aldehyde reacts with alcohol, first we are getting hemiacetal and second we are getting acetal. Okay. Now the second reaction is the reaction of ketone with alcohol. Reaction with ketone. In the case of aldehyde, any aldehyde can react with any alcohol. But when we study the reaction of ketones with alcohol, in your syllabus you have only the alcohol as ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol formula is CH2OH, CH2OH. What is the name? Ethylene glycol. Okay. Now, what is the reaction of a ketone with ethylene glycol? Very simple reaction. How we can generally represent a ketone? R, C double bond O R. When it reacts with ethylene glycol, to understand or to draw the structure easily, I am just writing the ethylene glycol as CH2OH, CH2OH. No problem now. Now here what is the elimination reaction taking place? Here they will be reacting each other by the elimination of water. How it can eliminate water from this? One hydrogen from here, one hydrogen from here and one oxygen from here. Now see how to draw the structure of the product. Start from here, R, C. Till this much portion there is no change. It was initially C double bond O. Now it will become 2 single bond. And these two bonds will be connected to, this carbon will be connected to this oxygen and this oxygen. Then CH2, and this is called as ethylene glycol ketal. When aldehyde reacts with alcohol, acetal. When ketone reacts with alcohol, ketal. So here which ketal is formed? Ethylene glycol ketal. Okay. So these are the two reactions coming under the reaction of aldehyde and ketone with alcohol. Now there is a question given in the back exercise. The question is to draw the structure of ethylene glycol ketal. To draw the structure of ethylene glycol ketal of hexane 3-O. Okay, this is the question. So from the question, how we can identify what to do? Ethylene glycol ketal we have to draw. That means ethylene glycol will be reacting with a ketone, and the ketone is hexane 3-O. What is the structure of hexane 3-O? CH3, CH2. Isn't it? At the third position there is a keto group. So in order to draw or to write the reaction, you need to by heart. So how we can write this as CH3, CH2. I am going to write C double bond O like this. The remaining group is CH2, CH2, CH3. Will be reacting with ethylene glycol. What is the formula? CH2OH, CH2OH. And what is the reaction happening here? Elimination of water. And what we are getting here is, start from here. No need to by heart all these structures. By looking at the left hand side, you can write the right hand side. What is on the right left hand side? CH3, CH2, C, and on this carbon CH2, CH2, CH3. Now this double bond, this carbon will be connected to this oxygen and this oxygen. So this is the structure of ethylene glycol ketal of hexane 3-O. So when you get a question, check whether it is acetal or ketal. Then if it is an acetal, check whether it is hemiacetal or acetal. Because if it is hemiacetal, it has to react with only one alcohol, and if it is acetal, it has to react with two molecules of alcohols. So 3 examples of nucleophilic addition reactions over. There is addition of HCN, addition of sodium bisulfite, and the third one is addition of alcohols. This we can write as a summary. When aldehyde or ketone reacts with HCN, gives cyanohydrins. Isn't it? When aldehyde reacts with one molecule of alcohol, gives hemiacetal. When aldehyde reacts with two molecules of alcohol, gives acetals. Then when ketone reacts with alcohol, gives ketal. So nucleophilic addition reactions example is not over. So first 3 examples are over, and this is a summary of these three reactions here. Remember, all these definitions are very important. Okay. The next example for a nucleophilic addition reaction is addition of ammonia and its derivatives. So before we study the reactions, in today's class we will study only the structure of ammonia and its derivatives, because before we start the reactions, you must learn the formula and the names of ammonia and its derivatives. So today what we are going to study is not the reactions we are going to study only the formula and name of ammonia derivatives. Okay. This you write inside a box and study. Okay. The first one is ammonia. We know the formula of ammonia, that is NH3. NH3, in order to study the reactions more easily, I am going to write NH3 as NH2H. No problem, no? NH3 we can write it as NH2H. This is ammonia. And the next one is, if I am replacing this hydrogen by an alkyl group, how it will be? NH2R. And these are called as amines. Okay, ammonia, and if I am replacing one hydrogen by one alkyl group, it will be called as amines. Amines general formula are NH2. Now, if I am replacing one hydrogen from here by OH group, how it will be? NH2OH. It is called as hydroxy group and amino group. So it is hydroxylamine. Okay. Next reagent, hydroxylamine. Next, if I am replacing one hydrogen from here by another NH2 group, how the formula will be? NH2NH2, and it is hydrazine. Hydroxylamine is NH2OH, hydrazine is NH2NH2. Now, next, if I am replacing, next we have derivatives from hydrazine only. Okay. If I am replacing one hydrogen from here by a benzene ring, how the structure will be? NH2. If I am replacing one hydrogen from here, this NH2 will become NH, isn't it? By a benzene ring. Name of this reagent is, if this is hydrazine, this we can call it as phenylhydrazine. Phenylhydrazine, what is the formula? NH2NH benzene ring, or we can write it as NH2NH C6H5, or we can write from that side also. Okay, both are correct. Next reagent, from the hydrazine, that is NH2NH2. If I am replacing one hydrogen by a benzene ring, what we can call it as? Phenylhydrazine, isn't it? In phenylhydrazine, if I am giving two nitro groups at 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 4th position, how we can call it as 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, or we can write it as 2,4-DNP, or it is called as Bosch's reagent. Study all the formulas first. This reagent is very important, because we have the same test in our practicals. Wherever theory connected to practicals, that sections are more important. So, hydrazine, one hydrogen is replaced by benzene ring, becomes phenylhydrazine. If there is two nitro groups, it will become 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, or Bosch's reagent. And last we have from hydrazine. Hydrazine, what is the formula? NH2NH2. If I am replacing one hydrogen by an amide group, what we will get? This is known as semi-carbazide. So how to study, is it clear? From hydrazine, I am replacing one hydrogen by an amide group. So formula becomes NH2NHCONH2, semi-carbazide. So study all these reagents. So write this inside a box in your notebook, and first in the next class we will be studying the reactions with all these reagents. So before that you have to study the formulas and the reagent names. Okay, thank you.